first point to understand that you are not making them, they are already made by God. What you are making is your vision, your attitude. Tree has been the same. With satsanga, you come under the same tree, and now you are inspired by everything you see in the tree. You didn't make anything. If you can understand that, the negative now teaches you many things. If I go on describing too many ways, in the first point it teaches you, you think that you have no anger. But some negative things comes, and anger emerges. If you have satsanga, you thank the person, reminding you of your mud lies. So that's satsanga. Even the world that seems negative is giving you something positive, is inspiring to you to live a life of purpose. And that's why you can see the saintly statement, Nindak niyare rakhiye, Angan kuti chawai. Someone has been bitterly criticizing you. Now, sage says, find where he lives, invite him, give him salary, give him a good quarter, where the roof is well and everything is well set for him. Because Binu pani sabun bina nirmal kare subhai. The sage, this personality who criticizes me, he has that ability to cleanse my errors without using details of soap and water. So you have to figure that out, what it means. Everything has a message behind it, and you have to use your mind, common sense. It doesn't mean literally that you go after people who criticize you and invite them. It simply means that your attitude should be, firstly, in a deeper level, oh God, they don't know what they are doing. Please, they are sick. And your attitude should be like the doctor's attitude to the patients. The patients shout a lot and would talk against the doctor. Doctor should not become upset, because that's the symptom of the patient. The doctor should find more strength to discover his own qualification. If all patients are so simple, there is nothing, no challenge for the doctor. So if you understand that, the same thing applies. So the world becomes always a source of learning and a source of challenge. Even in difficult circumstances, how can you survive? Even in difficult challenges, how can you offer prayers and hold a soft heart? So if you develop that, all this is satsanga. When you say remember Rama, remember God, it is not a dry experience. Because when you remember God, you are being touched by divine virtues, divine qualities, divine compassion. Rama is full of compassion. Rama is embodiment of humility. Rama is bambola. He is childlike. And when we say remember God, the word remember is not just a parrot's repetition of the same sound again and again. I'm saying it quickly. The ideal has to be understood and you work for it. In other words, when we recite divine name, it should not be boring. It should not develop a dryness in your heart. And if you fail, doesn't matter. Do it again, do it again. Enjoy more satsanga and try to bring out a divine feeling within your heart. If it is not there, imagine, visualize, and suddenly you will be surprised. Even the slightest degree of divine feeling entering your heart brings transformation in your life. In a life embellished by divine smaran, remembrance of God. Even in ordinary relationships, when you think of your mother, your father, you are visualizing. Darshan, when you sit close with your mask, it's a big difference. So when we are actually seeing, it is vital. So that's what means mantra chaitanya is similar. Visualizing is also limited by your own mind. Darshan is something totally, visualize the sun, how does it shine, and open the window and look at the sun, see the difference. The difference now you are enjoying and basking in the sunlight. Mantra Chaitanya has been awakened. Otherwise, you have been saying, Adhyaya Nama, Karaya Nama, Pushne Nama. Okay. Begin with Shubhecha. You have lots of ichhas. Ichhas are desires and wishes. But behind your wishes and desires, if you do not have the very keen desire for attaining liberation, then all your desires are ashubha. They are vain. But if you have a deep-rooted sensitivity of aspiring for attaining liberation, that sensitivity doesn't mean that you will not have practical desires. That experience of Shubhecha is a deeper attainment. You may not yourself be always aware when you say you have to have deep-rooted, burning desire for attaining God realization. This doesn't mean you will be burning every moment. You have created a mental process in which your soul is profoundly inclined to follow the path of light, and it cannot move away. The soul has become deeply engrossed in that movement. That is your Shubhecha state, which expresses in your daily life in the form of having amazing patience, endurance to face challenges in your life and emerge stronger than before. And it is decked with spiritual virtues. Most importantly, bhakti, devotion to God. Love of God begins to develop more and more in your daily life, leading to gradual process of surrender and self-effacement. The more surrender, more self-effacement, greater is your clarity of your goal. Greater is the burning aspiration of your soul to realize, who am I? So, understand all these details. Otherwise, your mind works upon, I don't have time for burning aspiration. What can I do? Stop doing all duties. Sit down. Take Gita in your hand and start burning up your aspiration. That's what. But just reading scripture in a literal way without guidance, and that's where you end up to. And that is not reality. Reality is to live your life with rhythmical, integral yoga plan. And while doing so, internally, inwardly, this profound movement continues. You begin. The very purpose of presenting Vibhuti Yoga is to fill your heart with divine love. Bhakti is the most powerful mystic path that secures enlightenment. And in order to develop that vision that the entire universe is nothing but God, and go one step further, that God is your very self. There are 3 stages of the vision. Let me correct myself. 4 stages. First is your charm chakshu, this crooked vision, skinny vision. It is that vision that is grabbing all the negative things of this world and looks forward to news breaks. Nothing else news, you see, just. And that is worldly drishti. That drishti must change. Now among positive drishti, shubha drishti, mangal drishti. When mind becomes positive, then you do not let despair rule your mind. You continue to have positive expectation that your dreams are going to be true. And you look forward to it. So that's Shubha Drishti or Mangala Drishti. Now comes Vibhuti Darshan. Vibhuti Darshan is a form of Divya Drishti. Divya is a divine vision. But Vibhuti Darshan prepares you for the divine vision. Vibhuti means the world is permeated by the glory of God. So whatever you are handling by your mind, whatever you are thinking of, there is a divine touch behind it. That whole process is Vibhuti Yoga. Each time your mind turns to the world and various happenings and various objects of the world, instead of stopping your mind to ordinary news, you allow your mind to understand there is divine touch behind all things that you see. Every object that you see is held by the fingers of God. So at least you are seeing his fingernails. And Divya Darshan is a divine vision, vision that allows you to see the entire universe is nothing but the divine self. Vishwarupa Darshan. Next vision the Gita presents is Bhakti Yoga. Wherever you are turning your attention to is divine love. And go further, Jnana Drishti, that's your goal. Bhakti Drishti culminates with the love of God, culminates with revelation. Aham Brahmasmi. That's Jnana Drishti.